If Donaire was a natural 147-pounder, who would be favored, him or Floyd Mayweather? Donaire is pound for pound as good as anybody.
Good. Oh, there you go. Out of there. It's over with. It's over with. That is done.
After winning the 2012 Writers Association Fighter of the Year, the future Hall of Fame great Nonito Doniare was at an all-time high.
My power, speed, ability that I work hard for in this gym, we're gonna go out there and try to kill each other.
Racking up 4 world title defenses in a single calendar, further adding to his impressive 12-year unbeaten streak as a professional boxer.
Good right hand by Donaire, and another left uppercut, and down goes Arce on a brilliant left hook, and that just might be that, and it is.
Nicknamed the Filipino Flash, Donaire could strike like lightning, technically brilliant with a high fight IQ, truly mastering the art of counterpunching.
Donaire working well. Oh, boy, look out! Darginian down from Nonito Doniare. Monstrous upset in emphatic fashion.
People talk a lot about perfect punches in boxing, and most greats of the ring have 1 or 2 notable ones by the time it comes to hanging up the gloves. Donaire, on the other hand, landed one in every fight. By the time 2013 rolled around, Donaire was a 4-weight world champion, unbeaten in the ring for over a decade, and recognized by the Ring magazine as the 5th best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
Nonito Doniare has made a dramatic rise. It's not easy for a 122-pound fighter to get himself ranked among the top 5 pound-for-pound in the sport.
He was at the peak of his popularity. However, before he could claim the super bantamweight division for himself, he had to unify against a man that no one wanted to fight, the true boogeyman of world boxing, a man that, even before he entered the pros, was feared due to the fact he had already bagged 2 Olympic gold medals, a Cuban master boxer with the most crushing one-punch power since the days of bantamweight greats like Carlos Zarate and Wilfredo Gomez, El Chacal, aka the Jackal, Guillermo Rigondeaux.
It's accumulating points.
Rigo is pretty high. Oh, big left hand right away by Rigondeaux. Fascinating. And Seha is down. Over the head.
He's looking out.
There's a left uppercut. Staggered. And Solis held up by the ropes. Referee Estevez intervenes, and it's going to be ruled a knockdown.
Rigondeaux's profile was far from that of Donaire's. Among hardcore boxing fans, he was infamous for his defensive technique. It was an almost robotic, visually pleasing defensive style that looked practically telepathic due to its consistency in avoiding an opponent's attack.
This is not a guy who arrives in the professional ranks and now needs to be schooled. He's schooling his opponent.
He only had 11 pro fights to his name, yet he was already being mentioned among Floyd Mayweather as defensive greats of the modern era. And that was backed up by being the first person to overtake Floyd in the CompuBox punch stat system, boasting an outrageous hit percentage of just 16 compared to Floyd's 18.
Well, people were saying, other fights that I might get on the bicycle, that I run a lot. Well, that's not true.
Rigo wasn't exactly a fan favorite, however. His defensive-first style infuriated not only the casual fans, but a large majority of hardcores who were perhaps a bit spoiled by what some other lower weight greats like Pacquiao, Marquez, and Tim Bradley were offering during a similar time. Nevertheless, unlike Floyd, who was also a very defensive fighter, Rigo packed a special weapon that granted him primetime slots on the biggest boxing networks in the world: murderous one-punch power.
Yeah. And the left eye of Ramos. Oh, got a problem, and here comes Rigondeaux. And there goes Rico Ramos from a left to the body.
Both Donaire and Rigondeaux were at their peak when they met in April 2013. The Filipino-American was the favorite among the bookmakers due to his previous performance and vast experience as a pro. However, due to both fighters packing hammers in their left hands, this one was guaranteed to be at least an even contest, packed with drama.
Stands to Rigondeaux questions, and both have promised that they want to be aggressive. And already there's an exchange. Donaire with a body shot to prove here.
Oh, good shot by Rigondeaux.
Absolutely. Rigondeaux landing again with the left hand. There's another straight left hand. Hard right hand by Rigondeaux. Somewhat blunted by by the counterpunching of Rigondeaux in round one.
A brilliant boxing exhibition from both.
Donaire had fought a long list of great fighters in his career, but none were as technically brilliant and as sharp as Rigo, and that showed as the Cuban carved him apart with powerful counters in the opening round.
A left hand.
Donaire wasn't even close to the counter right.
Hard left hand over the top by Rigondeaux.
400 fights, Max. He can have success going in the direction that he wants to go.
Rigondeaux has elevated his game here.
Again, the right hand to the body by Donaire.
Another great fighter.
It's a verbal warning to Rigondeaux.
Oh,
big
good
left
hook.
hand by Donaire.
Oh, good shot by. Oh my goodness.
They're trading punches now.
A fight just broke out.
These are nuclear bombs they're trading. Broke his jaw.
Donaire's frustration grew as the fight entered the midway stage, chasing shadows and being brutally punished as he tried to close the gap.
Trying to get his jab going, Roy, talking about Donaire as he takes a left hand right on the button from Guillermo Rigondeaux. On this occasion, they may have misfired. Two more solid shots.
But, you know, he can't hit Rigondeaux. He's not trying.
Hey,
There's a brilliant left hook by Donaire. He finally got himself into position to land something.
Donaire gave himself a lifeline with a knockdown in the 10th, but Rigo used his experience to provide himself with the maximum recovery time to clear his head.
Right hand by Donaire and a left hand by Rigondeaux.
Good hook.
Right hand by Rigondeaux.
Well, he got 2 points for the knockdown in the last round. If he made a couple of others close enough.
As the fight entered the closing stages, Donaire was well and truly beaten in every aspect of the sweet science. A prime, James Toney-esque style beatdown.
Rigondeaux's reflexes are so good and his hands are so fast that quite often Donaire will move as if to throw a punch and Rigondeaux pot shots him first.
I mean, can you imagine 3 punches landed in a round by a great champion like Nonito Doniare? It's just unbelievable.
One last big left hook swing for Donaire, and he motions to Rigondeaux, says, come at me, come on, let's fight.
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Y ya vieron lo que pasó, ya no pudo, con un golpe no se gana la pelea.
You saw it, boxing, movement, and he was frustrated. And with one shot, you just don't win a fight.
No excuse. Like I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm giving everything to Rigondeaux, but that's what I'm gonna do is go back to drawing board. But again, you know, he played a beautiful boxing game, and it was my mistake for not changing up.
As usual, Donaire was classy in defeat, and he did indeed learn from the loss, going on to compete and win in multiple world title fights in the coming years, with his brutal KO of Darchinian in 2013, alongside a close 12-round battle with the pound-for-pound star Naoya Inoue 6 years later, being the standout highlights.
Stiff right hand lands that time. And Donaire comes back with that famous left hook. Both men exchanging.
Rigondeaux's destruction of Donaire only furthered his reputation of being a boogeyman. At this point, no one was willing to fight him, and because English wasn't his first language, he wasn't even able to talk his way back into a big fight until a near-on impossible task was presented to him in 2017, as he stepped up 2 weight divisions to challenge a prime, Vasily Lomachenko. Rigo will forever be one of my personal favorites of the modern era. Not so much for his style, because I enjoy an all-action slugfest as much as the next guy, but the way he was so blatantly avoided during his prime pains me to the point of endearment. I hope today's video served as a reminder as to what this man could have done during his prime years against any fighter that would have dared step in the ring against him. A boxing extraordinaire with legendary power.
Rigondeaux's reflexes are so good, and his hands are so fast.